everybody? Welcome back to the Blue Hills Cruise Night over here in Canton, Massachusetts. Beautiful night at the end of June. We end up getting some nice weather. Looked like it was going to rain early, but it got to be really nice. Actually, some really cool cars here today that we haven't seen before. I want to focus on a couple. There's a really cool Bronco over there. There's a bunch of really nice, like a really nice Challenger, a beautiful Grand National. But we have a pretty good selection tonight of T-Birds. So I'm going to talk about a little bit of the T-Birds that are here. I'm going to walk around and just share a few that we have. We have an early T-Bird, a 55 to 57. We've got a couple of early 60s. We actually have like a late 80s, early 90s. So we're going to spend a little time talking about Thunderbirds today. If you didn't know, I grew up, that's the car I learned how to drive on. My mom had an 85. Love the car. So I'm a little bit partial to Thunderbirds, and I think they're really undervalued. And if you're looking to get in the collector car hobby, it's probably a great car that you can actually start with and enjoy finding that. You get to the 55 to 57s, they're a lot of money, but once you get beyond that, I think compared to the relative Mustang or Camaro, you're getting a great value getting a T-Bird. So we'll walk around and look at a few of the different Thunderbirds here. All right, so we'll start with the first gen T-Bird. This was the car that, a couple of things. One was one of the coolest cars out there. Like the V8 came out a couple years after the Corvette. Corvette came out in 53, this came out in 55, and it saved not only Ford, but also the Corvette. Without this car, they would have never made it. The Corvette was a 6-cylinder, 2-speed automatic. When that came out, they were selling a few hundred a year. The T-Bird came out and sold thousands and crushed it. So this generation was iconic. You'd see it in American Graffiti. One of the coolest cars out there. I mean, so many different versions of it. You know, you have the hardtop with the portal. You have the 312 motor. Just a really cool, iconic car. So this kind of starts everything out. We'll go over and look at some other Thunderbirds here. All right, so we've got the 63 here. So this is the next generation after those 57s. There's a little bit of body style change for this, but these got a little bigger, a little more luxurious. This one's a really nice in the black. It's a really nice looking car. Obviously that really cool jet turbine style on the tail lights, which is a lot of that there, the hard top. Plenty of room still, so it's actually a very functional car. It's definitely grown a lot from the 57s and what they get into early 60s. But again, this was that next iteration into the personal luxury, and you see really comfortable, great gauge package, nice looking car. So it's a car you can go out and cruise in. But again, the 390 motor, you can enjoy it. So a really, really pretty car. And again, the next iteration in that Thunderbird lineup. All right, so now we're in the next generation. We just saw the 63 that was over there. Again, a little different style. We went to 66. Now we've kind of morphed into, you saw in 63 we started to happen. They would talk about these being the bullet birds, kind of following in that jet age design that you have from this era of the 60s. But then you would get into, in these, it was they would continue to morph more towards luxury. They'd still have the big motor, the 390, but they would also continue to morph and get more and more luxurious, more and more comfortable. The tilt-away steering wheel, just a really nice, comfortable car. Again, a car that you can get into for not a ton of money still, relative to some of the other muscle cars out there. And a lot of power, a lot of comfort. I was talking to one of the guys that owned the 63, and he said exactly right. These cars, unfortunately, just don't know what they want to be. And that's kind of what's kind of challenged them a lot. Are they a muscle car? Are they a luxury car? And the answer to a lot of these is yes. You can have a lot of fun with these. You can hot rod them. They sound awesome. They've got a great platform to build off of. Or you can just have a great classic cruiser to come out to a show and enjoy and have a ton of fun with. So now this is more the generation I grew up with. This is late 80s, early 90s. I'm not sure exactly the year. It was more rounded here, but you had the option. This has the Cobra wheel, so it might even be like the early 90s. This is the same wheels that were on the Cobra Mustang. But these, again, most likely the V8, the 3.8 liter. Plenty of power, very comfortable, really nice riding car, rear wheel drive. This was in a weird place because it was competing with the Mustang, and it was a similar platform, a little larger, a little more luxurious. But you had the Lincoln, which was a similar design, so this kind of never really found its place. They sold a ton of them as Ford continued to move along. They didn't really have a place for this in the lineup along with the Mustangs. These kind of faded away, but I'm always partial to these. Like I said, I grew up driving. My mom had an 85, and I love that car. If I could find a really nice 85 5-liter, I'd buy it in a second. I thought it was super comfortable and a great car to drive. So. Another awesome night at the Blue Hills Cruise night. Tons of awesome cars, a bunch I hadn't seen before. That really cool Bronco, a bunch of really nice Thunderbirds tonight that we shared with you. Obviously the Grand National, these other beautiful Mustangs that are here, some of the Corvette guys. It's just a lot of fun to come up here, guys. If you haven't had a chance, please come up to the show. They're awesome folks. You're gonna meet super nice people you can just talk to. Come and hang out. A bunch of people said they've seen the video, so come up and say hi to me if you're here next time we see you. If you want me to show your car in the video, let me know. I'm happy to come in and shoot some footage of your car. We can do your car of the night, so whatever that looks like for you. If you haven't done so far, please hit that subscribe button. We'll have more videos coming next week, and we'll talk to everybody really soon. Thank you so much.